I can't keep track of things very easily. So when it comes to like my turkey hunting kit, I try to keep it very minimalistic, because if I don't, I end up leaving crap in the woods. So we're going to talk about what I carry. I've only been really solo turkey hunting for like 3-4 years now. Last year I did kill a bird. It was my first solo bird. And I had a bunch of extra stuff at the beginning of the season. But as I was working through, a lot of that got left at the house. And after that, everything that was left was the stuff that I actually used. And that's what I'm starting off the year with this year. Except maybe, you know, changing up the calls just a little bit. But overall, everything that I keep is just kind of essential, and I don't have a bunch of extra bells and whistles walking around with me. Speaking of staying simple, I am using a Remington 870. I got this thing for Christmas when I was 13 or 14, I think. Killed a lot of things with that it's not made for. You know, did a couple European pheasant hunts. And of course, taking it out and going turkey hunting. Last year I did upgrade the choke. So this is a... Give me a second. This is a Carlson's XR Longbeard Extra Full. Remington Turkey 660 lead copper heavy shot. It was like 50 or 60 bucks, and last year we did pattern it with my 870 with a few other different rounds, and it worked really good. So I am running that choke along with the XR Longbeard 3-inch turkey shells. Nothing too crazy about the gun. Are there better guns out there? Yes. Am I broke? Absolutely. So this thing works, and it does really good. I did put on a different cap for the tube just so I could run a sling through it, because it's got the spot in the back for it, but it didn't have a spot in the front. That was like 12 bucks, I think. It's worked wonders. It's never broken on me. I do try to keep it a little bit clean, but mostly just, you know, keeping it oiled up just a little bit, make sure everything's running good. And instead of running a Chinese turkey vest that a company wants to send everybody on TikTok for free, I last year decided to use a chest rig, because using a turkey vest, I would put stuff in pockets that I don't remember where I put it. So whenever I was trying to switch things over, I kept forgetting what pocket it was in, and I throw stuff in other pockets just running around, and it caused more hassle for me. So I wanted something that I could just keep like on my chest and have everything all in one spot. So I've got the FHF chest rig. This is the older model. The newer models are a little bit more upgraded, but this thing works freaking wonders, and it's really worked really good for me. I did upgrade the straps this year, just because the last strap, especially when I had like a camera, you know, extra shells, all of my calls in it, it was kind of digging into my shoulders just a little bit, but that was wearing it all day long. It's not like it does that right off the get-go, but I upgraded the strap. If you get their newest model, it actually comes with these straps. I'm not partnered with them whatsoever. They don't even know who the heck I am, but I do love this thing a lot. It's also made in the USA, and the quality is just, you know, really good. Inside of it, last year I had, sorry about that, I had the SD card was acting up on me. Anyway, last year I kind of just had everything thrown in here. I'm running just a couple of diaphragm calls, a slate call with a couple extra strikers, and I just kind of had all of that just dumped in here, which wasn't a big deal. It kind of sloshed around just a little bit, but it still worked better for me because I could just like leave it kind of halfway open, just reach in and grab the stuff out of there. This year I did purchase their turkey kit, which has got, it's all just Velcro. So you've got a spot where you can throw like your slate call in there. It's got 2 little spots that you can put your strikers in. It's got, you know, some shell holders, and then your diaphragm holder right there. You just throw this thing on, and I've got all my stuff right here on my chest. And no, it doesn't really get in the way of anything if I am up against a tree and I need to grab something out. Like I said, I usually keep this kind of halfway open. I can just reach in, grab new diaphragm, grab whatever I need to. Keeps all of that just right here, and I like that. Now the nitty gritty, which is what everybody wants to know about. What calls am I using? I am no professional caller whatsoever. You don't need to be a professional caller to go out and turkey hunt. You just gotta be able to yelp, cut. You don't even really need to cut. As long as you can yelp and as long as you can understand how to talk like a bird, even if it's not very good, you can make it happen. I'm running 3 different brands of mouth calls. Didn't plan on that happening. Like I said, I started off with like 7 or 8 different calls, and I ended up only using like 3 of those throughout the season. First one I use this one quite a bit because it's a little bit smaller, and I can make a lot more noise with this one as far as, you know, different noises. This is the Shane Simpson, oh shoot, can't remember what the name of it is, but I like this one a lot. Like I said, I can do soft yelps, I can cut, do the normal yelps, and sometimes I can actually gobble on it, but I'll let you guys hear it. That was the Shane Simpson. Like I said, that one I use the most. And then we've got the Ninja Woodhaven hammer. This actually might be the reverse hammer. I use this one quite a bit too. It's very similar on how I can use it compared to the Shane Simpson call. I feel like the cuts are a little bit better on this one, and the latex might be sticking to this, so if it sounds like junk, that's probably why. I haven't used this one in a little bit. Yeah, it's sticking. Give me just a second. If you've been letting your calls sit like a bad person and they sound like a dying beagle, what you can do is peel back the layers of latex and get them wet, and you gotta do all layers. So this one's like the 3 reed. So I pulled back the cut part, and then I go down and I pull back the second layer of latex, and I just kind of peel them apart, being a little bit gentle so I don't rip anything. Just get it wet because they've just been sitting and they're sticking together. All right, let's try that again. Woodhaven reverse hammer. And then this last one I don't use very often, but I do like it, and I like the company a lot because they're different. They're pretty sweet. The names of their calls are pretty cool. I don't know the name of this one. This one was actually given to me, but this is Cartel Custom Calls. If you guys haven't seen them, again, no affiliation whatsoever. They don't know who I am, but their stuff's pretty sweet. We're gonna give this one a shot. Most of the time I am using mouth calls, but I do bring out you know, a striker call or slate call, whatever you want to call it, just to try to be extra loud. So this is a Woodhaven Cherry Classic. A little bit expensive. I think it was 90 or 100 bucks, but I didn't have like a good slate call, pot call. And then I believe this came with 2 strikers, Purple Heart and Hickory, and it does make a big difference on which one you're using. I also haven't scratched this thing up since last year, so we'll see how it sounds, but you'll be able to hear just how loud, and this is definitely a more like high pitch, like top end yelp. But I use this for just if I'm up on top of a ridge or something trying to get out over a bottom. It's super loud. I like the sound of that thing. I'm not very good at running pot calls, but I usually just do like a yelp, long series of yelps over a bottom, and just because it kind of just pierces through everything and sounds pretty good. Locator calls. I cannot do any calls with my mouth naturally because I suck, but this is crow call. This is just a cheap like $6 Primos crow call. I don't think it sounds that great, but instead of just blowing through it, I kind of like gurgle, almost like you're growling through it, or I flutter my tongue, and it makes it sound a little bit better, especially at a distance. I pretty much use that as the sun's up, owls aren't really hooting anymore, and just see if I can get one to strike off. Last but not least, the owl hooter. This is a Hooks Custom Calls synthetic owl hoot, or hoot owl call is what I call them. And me personally, I think this is the best sounding hoot owl call that I have used, and I've used probably 3 or 4 different brands. The Woodhaven one is pretty good. I can't run it near as good. This thing's pretty sweet. That's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else that I use for, besides like camera gear. I'm getting more into the filming and stuff, but I'm hopefully gonna have a buddy with me most of the season. But it's pretty much just a tripod, a camera with a camo skirt around it. Like I said, it's pretty simple, but I figured some people might want to know kind of what other people are doing. I have no affiliation with any of the companies that I use for turkey hunting at all, so it's kind of an honest opinion. And a lot of stuff can work. You don't need to spend a lot of money, especially on like turkey calls and stuff. You can make it work. I don't think turkeys are stupid per se, but they're not super smart. And if you can make a noise, most of the time you can at least get them to gobble. You do need some woodsmanship to be able to kill that bird. But overall, as far as your gear goes, a gun that shoots straight, make sure it shoots straight. Calls that sound halfway decent, something to carry all those in. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see some turkey hunts coming in the next few weeks, I've got my buddy Lance, who's a videographer, and then potentially Jordan Jespin, who's going to be coming down. He also runs the camera quite a bit, and so we're going to try to get some really, really cool footage, and some of that footage might include some turkeys being decapped with a bow, and just a little bit of traveling. So hopefully all that works out, but if you want to see that stuff, you got to stick around. Anyway, I'll quit talking your ear off. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.